So Hermes recently showed their Fall/Winter 2024 collection, and I'm honestly kind of excited. So this whole venue that they did, it was so cool, and the weather worked out perfectly. It was literally raining outside and inside the venue, which, knowing me, I am a huge box leather fan. I was so stressed out for all of the attendees and their box calf bags. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stressing out. But no, guys, this show it wasn't spring summer. Like, you all know I loved that bucolic field moment, but this one was just more centered around the rain. And it was a really unusual runway. We had some amazing bags, which we're gonna talk about today. But before we get into all that, hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that's something you're into, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Consider joining the membership. We have an awesome engaged community. There's a Discord, members meetups, early access to videos, you name it, it's all in the membership. So today we're going to be discussing this Hermes show, and the whole theme, it was very realized. Like, you knew what they were trying to convey the entire show, which can't be said for many houses. But this year's theme was the rider. And this is the woman who is either, taking to the roads by horseback in the country, or, conquering the city center on her motorcycle. So we saw a lot of leather apparel, which Hermes does beautifully, a lot of beautifully draped skirts, lots of stud accents. And I think a lot of the same colors that we saw for spring summer also are going to carry over for Hermes Fall/Winter. We're going to see a lot of earth tones like earthy browns, neutrals, inky blacks, buttery beiges, etoupe. And they also showed us a little bit more Rouge H, which I'm 100% a fan of. And I told you guys, these dark, luscious shades of red are going to reign supreme for 2024, and we're seeing that trend carry off into Fall/Winter as well. Now, at the event, we saw some amazing bags, and as always, I'm going to save the absolute best for last. No, it is not a Birkin, it's not a Kelly, but I'm gonna give you a little taste of history with this last bag. Now, the very first bag, and quite possibly my favorite, which I know says a lot, I say this is my favorite all the time, but you guys, this bag checks all the boxes for me. This is the Fauborg Express, and this is all new for Fall/Winter 2024, and you guys, they freaking nailed it with this bag. It is everything I love. It is falling into that East-West trend, which, again, just like Rouge H, we're gonna be seeing that a lot for all of 2024. In fact, if you didn't catch it, I recently unveiled my new Celine Boogie, which is the East-West trend. It is a fabulous design, and I'm a convert. I used to go north-south. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're talking about Hermes. Now, the Fauborg Express, it was shown in two different sizes, what they call small, which is so cute and dainty, and medium. Its design cues, it clearly has its roots in both the plume, which we saw revived for spring-summer 2024, and the Victoria bags, which are beautiful classic bags I don't think we've seen for a couple of years at least. And they married them so perfectly. It also features a comfortable shoulder strap along with the top handle design. And what I love most about this bag, aside from its sleek minimalist design, is the lock mechanism featured at the end of the zipper. It is classic Hermes. They're known for both their beautiful heritage leathers and over-the-top hardware, and they nailed it with the Fauborg Express. And I'm so excited for this to hit shelves. Well, not hit shelves, but be offered to us anyway. So I'm hoping we get to see these out in the wild, because this design, you guys, is stunning. Now let's talk about the Verrou bag next. So this bag we've seen for a few years. I think Jessie Style has one, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love that little lock mechanism on the front. Like I said, Hermes is known for their locks, their hardwares, their turrets, if you will, on our Kellys and Birkins. And the Verrou, it is minimally redone. We do see it with an updated, wider canvas strap for Fall/Winter 2024, which kind of takes this more elevated, refined bag and makes it a little bit more casual. Like, this is your weekend Verrou, if you will. And the Verrou for this show was shown in both box and Barinia, which further demonstrates Hermes's commitment to those gorgeous heritage leathers that they're known for. It is their reputation, if you will. Now, next up, we're going to talk about an all-new bag for Fall/Winter 2024. This is the Collier d'Etalage, and it is a stunning minimal saddle bag. Now, we've seen this closure before a couple of times on other iterations of Hermes bags, but it is logoless. It is almost hardwareless, aside from those beautiful O-rings on the sides which hold on to the shoulder strap, so this could be worn crossbody on the shoulder. And aside from the logoless, almost minimal hardware exterior, you also have that nice slip pocket on the back, which we all love a good slip pocket. Doesn't look like it's going to be big enough to hold one of our phones, but at least you can slip your train tickets in there, or just little odds and ends that you need quick access to. But this bag was shown to us in, of course, box, I mean, hello, what else, and Epsom. So it's going to be a really good hard-wearing bag, and perfect for those under-the-radar days. You don't want to take out your Constance, you don't want to take out your Birkin. Grab your Collier d'Etalage bag. Don't roast me in the comments. I'm trying. All right, now I didn't want to kick this off with Birkins and Kellys because that feels like that's all we talk about. Kellys and Birkins. I know, sue me. But they also showed us the shoulder Birkin. So the shoulder Birkin, this was introduced under the James Paul Gaultier era, like way back in the Y2K, so it's very Y2K coded in design. For spring summer, they reintroduced the 39 centimeter size, which is gorgeous in its own right. But for fall winter, they gave us the 29 centimeter. And for some reason, the 29 centimeter to me makes a little bit more sense as far as dimensions and proportions go. Like it looks perfect in the 29 centimeters, because a lot of the complaints for my fellow Hermes lovers who have the JPG style Birkins, a lot of the complaints where they are just so east-west centric, all your stuff's just floating around, you can never find anything. Now this is still lending to that east-west trend, which is, I said, it's gonna be hot for 2024, but you're gonna be able to find your stuff in there a little bit easier. It's still falling into that almost TBE, tiny bag energy, that we have all been obsessed with over the last 4 or 5 years. Now this bag is going to be available in either a full leather version or the one that I would probably go for, like a leather canvas version. We love a spectator moment. It's easier for summer, perfect for traveling, resort season, if you will. And I'm super excited that they've reimagined such an iconic bag and made it even better. That doesn't always happen when we get reimagined bags. Speaking of Birkins, of course, the Birkin made an appearance for the fall winter 2024. For spring summer, we only had one that ended the show. This time around, we got a couple more. These were shown both in box and Barenia leathers in the sizes 30 and 35. Aside from Rouge H and East-West bags, big bags is also going to be another trend to kind of keep on your radar. I know that we've all been saying that for several years at this point, at least I have, but fashion is cyclical. We will see bigger bags coming back into fashion. We're just slowly making our way there, if you will. So of course, with that trend in mind, Hermes showed us the 30 and the 35, which my go-to size for Kellys and Birkins. And they also showed it in the box leather again, because again, that is their commitment to quality heritage leathers. We also saw them in Retorn and in the Cellier style, which for the Birkin, I feel like I prefer the Retorn. I'm just gonna say that. I think the Birkin should be a little bit more casual. It is a tote after all. I mean, if they offered me a Cellier, would I turn it down? Probably not, but my first choice would be a Retorn. Now, let's get our other big quota bag out of the way. Talking about you, Miss Kelly. For fall winter 2024, we saw another gorgeous marquetry Kelly. If you all remember, I think they gave us 1 or 2 variations for spring summer. We got another one for fall winter 2024. This time it's done in the Rouge Cellier, which is very similar to Rouge H, but a little less red, a little bit more aubergine mixed into it, with black stripes and pale pink stars. Now personally, for me, the colorway is wouldn't necessarily be my first choice, but I do love the fact that their artisans are able to achieve such amazing designs. Basically think about marquetry like a marquetry table. It's gonna have little inlays of veneer that make up the broader design, and it should also be smooth to the touch. Like with the hand, you should not be able to feel the differences in the leathers, and Hermes does that impeccably. Like their artisans are out of this world. So I'm excited to see more marquetry bags coming into play. I would just like a different colorway, I think. Now, if you're more interested in the standard Kelly, don't worry. She has some new features, if you will, for fall winter 2024. This time they're showing her with a new adjustable shoulder strap, which has a comfortable pad underneath the shoulder strap, which if you're familiar with the Kelly, she's gorgeous, but she can get a little heavy. So this might help you be able to wear your Kelly more long-term on the shoulder, more comfortably, more casually, if you will. So make sure to check that out this fall. Clutches. Let's discuss clutches. Now, clutches have been big for the last year or so, and Hermes has introduced all new for fall winter 2024, the Pochette de Pochette. Yep, Pochette de Pochette. Now this, again, we're going with that beautiful minimalist design that is so popular for 2024, and this basically just features an envelope style clutch with a very interesting smooth palladium clasp. Now, like I said, Hermes is known for their inventive clasps, locks, you name it. Their hardware is stunning. Now this particular clutch was shown in Noir, Etoupe, and Rouge H, and I think that Rouge H is calling my name. It is absolutely gorgeous. Speaking of new bags for fall winter 2024, we have the Charniere To Go. I'm gonna say something that might be unpopular, but this was probably my least favorite for the entire show. Now, on the runway, they show this mostly as a belt bag, but this removable strap could also be worn on the shoulder. You could wear it on the belt. You could also carry it by that cute little stirrup top handle as like a clutch moment. So you are technically getting 3 bags in one. Is it very big? No, it's itty bitty. It's oompu. It's very equestrian in nature. If you remember, the whole theme of the show was the rider. So we're harkening back to Hermes's equestrian history. It kind of reminds me of the Maximore bag that came out a couple of years ago, that barrel style with like the stirrup at the top. So it's right at home in the Hermes lineup. For some reason, like I just don't it's not doing anything for me. It's not stirring up that emotion that I need to, you know, have in order to spend such a high ticket price on an item. I like it, it's just not for me. All right, guys, we've got 2 more bags to discuss. I am saving the very best for last, but next up, another one that I really liked was the reimagined Constance. Yes, Miss Constance has entered the chat, if you will. Now, for fall/winter 2024, we got 2 variations of the Constance, and both are literal pure gold, like absolutely stunning. Well, they're not made of pure gold, but like they did a good job on them. For the original Constance, we now have it with leather wrapped hardware, which for me, I think that it's going to be taking that, like, I know hush hush quiet luxury, but it's taking it to that next step. It's giving it more of a monochromatic look, and I could see this being a twofold, either a solution or also a problem. Now, if you're worried about like spending that kind of money on a Constance and you don't want the hardware to be scratched, this could be your answer. Now, if you're not careful enough with it, we've seen it before with Louis Vuitton with the Emily wallet, you know, several years ago. IYKYK, like that's been a good 10, 15 years at this point. But like those leather wrap buttons would also wear off. So I think, yes, it's going to be a little bit more hard wearing than just like the gold or the palladium hardware Constance, but you're also going to have to take that much more care with it. Like make sure not to smash it up against anything, because the metal on the backside of that leather will eventually pierce through, especially in that gorgeous chev leather. It could happen. So something to watch out for. Now, also with the Constance, we saw another iteration, which is absolutely stunning. We saw it in a printed swift leather, which is done in like an all-over scribble plaid pattern. Now, this does also feature the palladium hardware on the front, but overall, it is such a fun and whimsical take on an already perennially classic bag. Like, the Constance is growing on me, so watch out, wishlist 2024 or 2025. I could see this being added to my collection in the future. Last, but certainly not least, this is the most impressive bag in my opinion, the Bolide. I can literally see my husband rolling his eyes. He hates the Bolide. But this time around, they're showing it in the Volynka leather, which is a beautiful Russian leather, which I'll tell you more about here in a second. Now, we saw the larger size Bolide in both of these leathers, and we also saw the mini Bolide with a new shoulder strap, this time done in a beautiful braided strap of shades of blue, green, and I think a little bit of a taupe if I remember right. The bags are stunning, but what is most impressive is the Volynka leather. Now, the Volynka leather is a storied leather. Like this leather has had the most exciting life, if you will. This was originally done in Russia. This was like the epitome of Russian grandeur, and it was a trademark of Imperial Russia. Now, this leather was used for just about everything from binding books to lining the interior of your carriage to combat boots. Like this leather, it is rich, it is sumptuous, and I have had the pleasure of being able to touch it myself. It is low-key amazing, smells divine. Like this smell, you guys, it is unmatched. It is truly gorgeous. Even though this leather was a prized commodity of Imperial Russia with trade in the West, sadly it was lost in the early 1900s with the October Revolution. Lost, you guys, like we don't have any more. We don't know how to tan it. Now fast forward to 1970 when divers off the Cornish coast found a two-master which had been sunk in 1786 with rolls of this leather in its hull. Of course, you know, several hundred years later, 200, I'm not good at fast math, don't quote me. A couple hundred years later, the silt from the river had kind of settled on the rolls of leather, helped to protect it. After this discovery, you know, they pulled the leather out, dried it off, and like this leather is literally rot-proof. And the fact that it stayed underwater off the Cornish coast for 200 years in water conditions, you name it, and was still usable in the 1970s absolutely blows my mind. But just wait. Hermes takes it one step further, and in the 1990s, they purchased 12 rolls of this 1786 Volynka leather. Now, with that leather, they did use it to make Kelly's Wathc the Hermès, and then in 2011, they got together a group of leather craftsmen, artisans, historians, you name it, to kind of try and work the process of tanning Volynka leather backwards to truly achieve that process and understand how the Russians had originally done it. It took them 6 years, you guys, to relearn the process to tan this gorgeous, rich, buttery leather. So with that, we have 3 bags. We have the Bolide, which we're talking about now, the Eau Aqua and the Plume Voyage, as well as the Ulysses notebook. And you guys, if you can get your hands on this leather, you will not be disappointed. Like it's thick, it's rich, it's buttery, and one of the most distinctive scents you will ever find. Like this scent was so popular in 1920s Paris. It was in perfumes, you name it. Like it was beloved by men and women. Like this scent is phenomenal. It's out of this world. 100% go and try and get your hands on some. You will not be disappointed. Now that wraps up our fall winter 2024 Hermes runway review. We have amazing bags, amazing leathers. Like, this show did not disappoint. I mean, it wasn't our bucolic walk through the field, but still, it was very architectural, very interesting. And I'm excited to see what this new season will bring for Hermes. Let me know in the comments, like, which bag was your favorite? Are you excited about the Volynka leather? I know I will be trolling the website to try and get my hands on some. I'm just being upfront about it. But I'm excited. I hope you're excited. We're all excited. It's a party. So let me know in the comments, what was your favorite bag, your favorite moment, if you will. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe, have fun. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.